After playing through and completing Super Mario Bros. Wonder, I can confidently say this is the best 2D experience in the series in quite a while, containing unique elements that make it stand out and force me to want to create videos about it. One of these things are its levels, where I've already looked at the hardest in a past video, so today, I instead want to focus on the top 15 best stages in this wondrous game, going through why they deserve to be on this list, usually based on how fun they are. Oh yeah, before I get started with this, my name is Copycat, and if you haven't yet, then please subscribe to my channel, hitting that bell to stay notified when I upload new videos. To start things off at number 15, we have the Way of the Goomba stage, found within the game's secret special world, having a Wonder Flower mechanic that sets it apart from all others, and that you actually transform into that mushroom-like foe. Being in this state is really strange, as you're pretty much defenseless and can't jump at all, needing to rely on your new ability to walk over spiked objects, as well as being able to hide behind certain trees to avoid taking any damage. Now, this is all fun and games until you reach the Bluebird sections who spit out bubbles, needing to skillfully platform on them to pass the voids, which, trust me when I say, is needlessly difficult. I could do the rest of the level no problem every single time, but when it came to maneuvering on these bubbles, I just couldn't get the hang of it, dying dozens of times in the process. I think if it was designed a bit more carefully, then this unique experience would place better in this video, but because of it, it's at least the worst of the best. Next up in the 14th spot, I want to look at a type of stage that always is tons of fun to play when you come across them, in the KO Arena ones, where you have to defeat enemies on different floors, all within a certain time limit to gain all of the 10 flower coins. These are just a great break from the regular platforming gameplay, and actually takes a bit of strategy as you're given a choice of what power-up you want to use, all of which will help you out in different ways. This is a great challenge for speedrunners, or just a great place for people to take out a bit of their anger, but either way, they really do deserve to be mentioned here. Coming in at the lucky number 13 spot, I want to look at 3 levels that involve the Hoppy Cat enemy, in Hop Hop and Away, the Sharp Trial, Launch to Victory, as well as the Midway Trial, Hop to It, found within the Shining Falls world. This enemy is very interesting as it's literally a copycat, jumping every time you jump with your character, trying to mimic you, although it does fall back to the ground very slowly. This really is your only opportunity to maneuver around it, which still can be difficult due to the spikes on its head, but with a bit of practice and patience, this is more fun than trouble. In the Launch to Victory stage, you take this to the next level, and actually use this foe as a projectile, firing it out of this bamboo cannon every single time you jump, sending it flying towards other foes to defeat them, as well as being able to use it to collect any items out of your reach. Although, what really makes these levels great are their Wonder Flower effect moments, where in Hop Hop and Away, the enemies become massive and you need to use their sheer size to clear paths for you so you can progress in the stage towards the end. The other twos are even better, as here you actually transform into the Hoppy Cat yourself, needing to use its insane jumping ability to travel upwards, destroying anything in your path while collecting what goodies you can. Coming in at number 12 are the 2 Bull Rush base stages that can be found in the Pipe Rock Plateau area, needing to use this enemy's sharp horns and out-of-control nature to break bricks and uncover spots you otherwise wouldn't be able to get to. Really though, the real enjoyment is during the Wonder Flower effect, where these bull-like beings gather in a herd and begin to stampede out of control, where you're able to literally surf on their backs, needing to skillfully platform to collect the 10 flower coins at the same time. Probably the best moment is when they actually destroy the main flagpole, opening up a brand new secret area behind it, something that's both shocking and amazing. One level I really enjoyed, but haven't seen many people talk about, is Rolling Ball Hall, which is located in the Sunbaked Desert, where the use of the spike balls here are very memorable, especially during the Wonder Flower effect. That's because during this moment, the entire stage itself begins to tilt in all different directions, meaning you have to outrun the gigantic spike ball while collecting the wonder tokens along the way. What's cool is that at times this essentially turns into a slide stage. Well, it's easier to do just that instead of platforming, as it gives you enough speed to get you where you want to go, as well as letting you defeat any enemies in your way. Although I don't usually love lava levels, I need to put the Deep Magma Bog's Dragon Boneyard at number 10 in this video, as it has great platforming moments as well as an unforgettable Wonder Flower effect. I love how you have to maneuver on the rotating dragon fossils to make it across gaps and collect goodies, and at one point you even have to use them as a sort of vehicle to make it through the hazardous areas. Like I said, the most fun part takes place during the Wonder Flower effect, where the fossils actually come to life and become rideable living beings, needing to do just that to make it to the seed. This is one of the most surprising moments in the entire game, and even the talking flower agrees.
Wait, what? No!
Up next in the 9th spot is the exciting Zip Track Dash stage, which is all based on having to use those platforms, which really causes your character to move incredibly fast while having to collect items and of course avoid baddies. Probably one of the most unexpected moments is when you're transformed into a Hoppy Cat while also riding these rails, needing to use his unbelievably high jumps to reach all secrets you can find in this level. It's really the high speeds that makes this one so great to play, although it is incredibly short, which is a common theme in this entry. In the 8th spot in this best video is the Missile Meg Mayhem Petal Isle stage, needing to ride on the backs of those female bullet bills to make it to the end, using them as movable platforms that do dip a bit when you stand on them. This takes a lot of skill to properly use to cross voids and collect certain unreachable secrets, where at times you might need to stay on them a bit longer to find them. This course's wonder effect is very similar to the bull rushes, as the Missile Megs group together and sort of go out of control, again having to use their backs as movable platforms to get to the seed. I get that some of these stages are a bit gimmicky, but that's also what makes them a blast to play. Although, riskiness is always a factor, which is why this one doesn't rank any better. Next up is one of the only ghost house levels in the entire game in the Light Switch Mansion of Fungi Mines, where you have to trigger a switch to turn on the lights to reveal hidden blocks you have to platform on. Doing this will also kill any of the boos that are hit by the light beams. Although honestly, I never had any trouble moving around them anyways, as they are slow and relatively dumb. Really though, the part that stands out the most is the level's secret area containing the Night at the Boo's Opera Wonder effect, where the King Boo and his minions sing to you as you progress forward in an auto-scrolling setting. Again, I can't say it's really hard to get around the foes you come across here, but at least it's full of this really cool, but somewhat terrifying moving door enemies, who come to life and try and chomp down on you, only being defeated by a bonk and entering into them. Now, this isn't as good as the 2 other musical numbers we'll see later in this video, but it is at least a nice little goofy moment that just makes you smile when you come across it. In the 6th spot in this video, I want to look at the Special World's Solar Roller stage, which is only accessible through the Deep Magma Bog's secret exit, where here the entire thing revolves around turning into a spike ball and having to navigate through a very tough obstacle course. Here you just need to control the direction you go, as well as when you want to jump. At times needing to trigger timer switches to ensure that you even have a platform to move on, meaning you need to go fast. Probably the hardest moment is when you have to safely jump between the bouncy triangles, where one wrong move will send you plummeting to your death, which just adds a sense of risk to your gameplay, even if it's not the most difficult level in this title. Cracking the 5th spot in this video is the initial apparent final level of Special World called the Wonder Gauntlet, where here you go through different wonder effect moments, all jam-packed in the single stage. This includes inchworm warp pipes, time dilation that both speeds things up and slows things down, a swarm of noshers that eat the stage out from behind you so you have to move quickly, these 2 random gigantic Hoppy Cats, an area shrouded in darkness containing sproings and sugar stars, a Missile Meg section where I died more times than I want to admit, having to ride a block ship and shoot all of the objects in front of you while also dodging the lightning strikes, and finally, having to run away from the antimatter rifts that begin to envelop everything, although collecting the star does make this easier. I think this one really encapsulates the entirety of Super Mario Bros. Wonder perfectly, and I love how they wanted to make this more of a fun experience than a grueling one. something that can't be said about the real final stage. Honestly, at number 4, I have to include my favorite moments from the game, which is literally any time the piranha plants start to sing, which can be found through the secret exit of the Piranha Plants on Parade stage, and during the Wonder Effect of the Piranha Plants Reprise stage. Honestly, I don't have to say much, just listen to the catchy tunes these things sing and you'll understand why it's so high on this list. Coming in the bronze medal spot in this video is that hardest fun level I mentioned, called the Final Test Badge Marathon. Only unlocked once you've beaten the game, collected every Wonder Seed, gotten every 10 flower coin, and touched the top of every single flagpole. This might be one of the toughest 2D challenges Nintendo's ever come up with, equipping yourself with the different badges and completing rooms using their abilities. Although, this involves a lot of trial and error, and of course, a lot of lives. What also makes things tough is that there's only a checkpoint every 3 rooms. And on top of that, barely any power-ups, so you need to be perfect with your movements, as in most cases, one hit means death. Again, this is a case of this one's risk factor making it such a joy to play, especially as this title is on the easier side, and I was never ever at risk of getting a game over. Coming in at number 2 is the final main story level of the game called The Final Battle, Bowser's Rage Stage, which contains a really amazing lead up to an equally amazing boss battle. This is a Wonder Effect / auto-scrolling stage where you need to make some split-second decisions or risk taking damage or just dying entirely, encountering tons of enemies that you've seen throughout the different worlds that can be quite annoying. Once you make it to the end, you'll finally get to face off against the castle-infused Bowser, where he spawns hands that try to smack down on the stage and damage you. You need to use the jump stage platforms found on the arena floor to propel your character upwards and damage the hands, which eventually leaves the head open, where you have to perform the same thing to hit its underneath to deal damage. Bowser sends some pretty gnarly stuff your way in the form of flaming note piranha plants, where you have to again use those jump stages as a way of getting over them in some instances, or else you will take damage. I will say, this being the best boss fight in this game isn't saying much, as it's definitely a weak spot in this entry. But don't get me wrong, it is good, and deserve it of one of the top spots here. Before we get to our number 1 pick, here are some honorable mentions. A level that instantly stuck out to me when I played it, due to its fast-paced action and pinpoint necessary platforming, is the Special World's Climb to the Beat stage. Here needing to traverse upwards before the blocks you're using completely disappear. This is not a walk in the park at all, and in some situations you have one literal brick you need to wall jump off, meaning you actually have to be perfect or fall into the hazard and die. If you didn't guess, jumping to the beat is a great tool to ensure your safety, and completing this just wanted me to see more levels like this from Nintendo for Mario in the future. Alright, that's gonna be it for today's video, guys. I really hope you did enjoy this one. Please check out the related video about the top 15 worst levels in Super Mario Bros. Wonder, which should be out tomorrow by this video's release, so just look out for it. Also, if you haven't yet, please like this video, comment below what you thought about it, subscribe to my channel, and please go follow my Instagram at Copycat Gamer. There I upload some cool clips and items from my collection that you won't see anywhere else. Hope you guys all have a good day, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!